Ladies and gents, welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle. In today's video, we're talking about Nervos Network, some of the freshest ecosystem news that you don't want to miss out. We've got a tweet from the juggernaut, neon.bit, baby. I just purchased this NFT for 150 CKB on NFT Nation, guys. Make sure you check out NFT Nation. I will link to it in the description. There's a lot of cool NFTs and stuff like that on here. Really incredible art. But we have a banger article that was dropped by D-Daddy Bayo. Overview of the new project on Layer 2 Watch, baby. The RGB++ protocol aims to extend Bitcoin's capabilities with smart contracts by integrating with Nervos CKB cells. This is very important, folks. And I want you guys to understand how awesome it is that Nervos Network can interact with like Bitcoin. They're both UXTOs. And the way Nervos Network cells work is that 1 byte of data equals 1 CKB. If you had 10 bytes of data, you would need 10 CKB to store data on chain, things like that. But there is something here that caught my eye, and it was to extend Bitcoin's capabilities. Bitcoin is the most recognized asset probably on the face of the earth. It's right up there with like McDonald's. Everybody knows the logo. It's one of the most underutilized assets on the face of the earth. There's no DEXs built on the Bitcoin network. Nothing like that. It's used as a peer-to-peer payment system, which was its intended design. But when you start adding into the fact that Nervos Network really can kind of change this game with smart contracts, bringing smart contracts to Bitcoin, this does change the game for Bitcoin. It really does. So this was a great little read through, and I will try to remember to link this article to the description as well. But it's awesome to see that Nervos Network has taken off with this RGB++ narrative that has come to light. Nervos Foundation says, we often encounter Nervos being perceived as one big coordinated effort with a single team at the heart of the project. That's traditionally the case across a lot of these projects in any crypto ecosystem, any crypto blockchain. There's a couple offices spread out around the world, and people move to these offices and call it home. But with Nervos, it's kind of a different deal here. So we got Cryptape. I've met quite a few of the Cryptape team. Brilliant people, very nice. I've met a lot of the Nervos Foundation, probably like 90% of the people, and they're just all so wonderful. But you can see that as far as the infrastructure is concerned, Cryptape, Magic Base, Community, Nervos Foundation, Hackbee, funding CKB, EcoFund, and some other funded projects like Cell Studio, which I think that Cypher Wang has some stake in that. DID, Decentralized Identity, and Kalani, of course. So this is kind of a lot of moving parts to this organization. And really, I think it covers a lot of the bases that just don't get covered out of these mega blockchain foundations that are so, that are so kind of like wound together. So we've got people out there taking care of infrastructure, community, and funding. That's awesome. This gets me excited, folks, because Joy ID, Cypher Wang, I mentioned before, is the brains in his studio, Cell Studio. I think there was another one, running blanks right now. But Joy ID now supports Bitcoin, making it the first non-custodial passkey wallet to embrace Bitcoin. Joy ID is by far the best mobile wallet I have ever used in my life. Simply because, guess what? You can use your thumbprint, facial recognition to access your portfolio, access your wallet. You know what you need to do to recover a wallet on like another phone? You just got to scan your thumbprint and you recover your wallet. I did it. It's awesome. So this is really cool to see that they are now supporting Bitcoin, folks. And they have a partnership with Kodo. So you can really actually go ahead here and swap crypto. This is great. This is turning into a Uniswap very slowly. So this is great to see. There is a very cool. I didn't even know this NFT marketplace existed on Joy ID until I saw this tweet. Unicorn Box's transaction volume on Joy ID marketplace has soared past 40 million CKB. The current floor is 77,000. The highest sell price 91,000 CKB. This is amazing. And when I first thought of Unicorn Box, I thought, okay, this must be like an NFT exchange or something like that. No, folks, this is Joy ID's marketplace. And so you can see that there are quite a few of these Unicorn Boxes. I'm not sure what the difference is between these. I'm sure there's some sort of rarities involved, but there is, I don't know how many of them. But I might have to go and pick one of these up at the floor price or something like that. But this is really cool. 72,000 CKB. Yeah, that's a lot of change. $1,400 for one of these NFTs. So very cool. I wonder if there is any incentive to owning one of these. I'm going to have to look into this further for you guys. Last but not least, check out Nervos Nation, guys. I want you guys to just check out Nervos Nation, especially if you're new to CKB and Nervos Network. You guys can head on over to Nervos Nation on X or on Telegram. And it's a great community where you can ask questions, be bullish on the projects, things like that. So they do have a Telegram group that is actually growing quite a bit the last few months. As CKB pumps, more eyes get directed to CKB and Nervos Network. So big shout out to Nervos Nation, baby. Now, what's going on with the crypto markets? It's kind of a mixed bag today. CKB's down 5% on the day. We're up an amazing 316% on the year. So we're currently at rank number 115 on crypto bubbles. It could vary on other exchanges. Now, part of the reason why I haven't really made a crazy video here like the last week or two or whatever, I've been doing like a lot of editing. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I just haven't gotten around to making a Nervos Network video. But this is the last chart I drew where I was speculating that we would see price kind of bounce to the upside. I was hoping that we would see price continue up to this like 0.025-ish level. And I'm going to call this the way I see it. Let's look at the daily. So, we could be gearing up for just this very nice pennant style retracement. And this is great because we've got an amazing bull flagpole here. And we almost have this consolidation that could be moving in it's either going to move in a pennant or it's going to move in possibly a flag formation, something like this. But on this daily, I'm hoping to see maybe something like this occur, okay? And I really want to see this price bounce off this 50 moving average at the shoulder of this Ichimoku cloud. So that's kind of where we're at on the daily. And you know what, to be honest, guys, like this thing could retrace a little bit more. And I say this as a holder of CKB. I want this thing to pump to the moon, but I'm going to also be realistic at the same time. This pump reminds me of ICP's pump back in like January, where it went straight up and then it needed time to consolidate. So you can see that on the weekly, we're seeing this 50 moving average kind of go like this. So we might not see a crazy move up for like a few more weeks, quite possibly. It just is what it is. I'm hoping we get a little bit of a pump here, or one of the other things that I'm hoping for here is that we could maybe see a little bit of a reversal And what I'd love to see is some sort of ascending triangle like this, form. And this thing might not execute till first week of April, something like that. So there's a lot to read here. We could also be gearing up for an ABCDE corrective wave where we might see price pull one of these. And during this process, we might see inverse head and shoulders form to take us up to this next level. But when I look at this weekly, you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. And I'm not here to shill you ICP by any means, but it is one of my favorite projects. And on the weekly, you guys can kind of see I've had the same thought process with ICP that I just showed you. You can see that on the weekly, price just ran up, and then it just needed some time to consolidate sideways. So, it took about 3 months for that to happen. But I am hoping that we see somewhat of an ascending triangle or something like that on the CKB charts. And it might take a month or two for this moving average to catch up and we get that bounce. And when we get that bounce, folks, man, we're going to be sitting good. So let's say we get that bounce on CKB, guys. Where is price going? And we'll also look at where price could go in the short term downwards. But obviously, I really would like to see CKB, and we're going to actually switch over to the spot price charts. And when it comes down to it, you can see how I've been throwing up. This is a channel. So this is a nice channel that I've been kind of watching CKB with. So when it comes down to this, I'm still thinking that, price is just going to have to wiggle its way over. But in the meantime, where is price going to go? That is the $1 million question. 4 cents. Okay. That's great. That would be awesome because that would be returning to all-time highs. This is at the 161.8 is 4 cents. When we look at like Elliott wave theory, we could almost argue that this could be wave 0 to 1 to 2, number 2 to 3, wave 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And I'm hoping that we see something like this occur. But it wouldn't surprise me to see CKB maybe run up to the 7, 8 cent, 10 cent-ish level. So we'll just have to kind of keep an eye on where things are at right now. There could also be this opportunity, guys. We've got a very nice cup here. So we might take a little dip here. And if this does happen, one of my rules of thumb with the cup and handle, and you could almost argue that if we get a dip here, that we could also be seeing some sort of an inverse head and shoulders, which would be epic. When I look at trying to figure out where price is going to go, there's a lot going on with CKB, more so now than there was the last bull run. We've got all this stuff with RG++. We've got all this stuff with Joy ID. We've got everything. So when I look at this, I look at the possibility of basically trying to measure where we're going to see price go. And I'll do this by measuring from the neckline down to this head. And then what I'll do is I'll stack the head area right where I think that the price is going to go to, somewhere in here. So, I mean, higher range of things, we could almost be getting ready to see an 18 cent CKB. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. It's got a lot of momentum. We haven't even gotten to the Bitcoin halving yet. People are acting like this is the bull run. I think we're at the very beginning stages, but the Bitcoin halving happens in like a month, and we're seeing really dramatic price movements. So we'll keep an eye on this. Obviously, I think that we're going to see CKB kind of trade sideways a little bit more. So we'll be kind of covering the news like every few days. But follow me, subscribe to me, love the video. Let me know what you guys think about a 20-cent CKB. Does that make you bullish? Do you think it could go higher? I want to hear from you. Peace.